Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. We are from Group 1 and today we are going to present about the first part of subchapter 1.3 Usage, Management and Handling of Apparatus and Materials. First, general rules in lab that you should know.
The laboratory is an important place for learning chemistry, and it is a dangerous place too. All the rules and safety measures in the lab should be obeyed. Some of lab safety rules are like dress appropriately, keep a clean workspace, don't taste or sniff the chemicals, and dispose of waste properly. Next, I want to talk about personal protective equipment, also known as PPE. Wearing personal protective equipment while carrying out experiment in the laboratory is necessary to protect yourself from injuries. Face mask, used for protecting the respiratory organs from chemicals. Safety goggles, used for preventing dust or splashes of chemicals from getting into the eyes. Laboratory coat, protection for the body and clothing against chemical spills such as acid, alkali, or organic solvents. Laboratory shoes, protecting the feet from injury caused by chemical spills, sharp objects, or toxic substances. Glove, used for handling chemicals to protect hands from injuries, chemicals, or infection. Safety equipment in the laboratory and their function. First, fume chamber, a specially designed equipment to carry out experiment that releases toxic vapors, cause combustions, or produce pungent smell.
Fire extinguisher. It is used to extinguish fire in the laboratory. Next is hand wash, to remove chemical substances, oil, dirt, and microorganism from the hands. Lastly, we have the safety shower and the eye wash. Safety shower is used to wash and clean the body when a chemical accident occurs on parts of the body, while eye wash is used for washing and cleaning the eye when accidents occur on parts of the eye.
This small section from the safety shower is the eye wash.
That's all from us. Thank you. Have a good day.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. Today we are going to talk about usage, management and handling of apparatus and materials. Methods of managing and handling apparatus and chemicals. Skills in using and handling apparatus and materials are important and very useful in carrying out scientific investigation. The first method is weighing and heating of solid. The second one is filtration and distillation. The third one is electrolysis, gas collection and gas test. And the fourth one is titration.
So here we have 4 activities according to the station by using and handling apparatus and chemical with the correct method. The first one is weighing and heating of solid. Second one is filtration and distillation. Third, electrolysis, gas collection and gas test. And last one is titration. Station 1 is weighing and heating of solid. Weighing rules: all balance must be clean, level and zero. All chemicals must be weighed by difference in a container. Don't weigh hot or wet objects. Clean up all spills immediately. Check the balance has returned to 0 and reset it before you leave. The second station is filtration and distillation. There are two basic processes for separating mixtures: distillation and filtration. Distillation is the use of heat to separate the components of a liquid or gas, while filtration is the separation of solid from a fluid, either a gas or a liquid, by allowing the fluid to pass through a filter.
The next station is station 3, which is electrolysis, gas collection and gas test. The gases collected during the electrolysis can be tested with glowing splint, which is flamed up in the presence of oxygen, and burning splint, which will ignite hydrogen, causing an audible pop. Hydrogen gas is produced at twice the rate of oxygen gas in this reaction. Station 4. Titration. Titration is common lab method of quantitative chemical analysis to determine the concentration of an identified analyte. A reagent, termed the titrant or titrator, is prepared as a standard solution of known concentration and volume. There is a quote told by Blake Shelton, which is one thing that you can't fake is chemistry.
Here I would like to share about the storage and disposal of chemicals. Most chemicals in laboratory are hazardous. Therefore, chemicals should be stored in their designated places according to their categories. From figure 1.11, show a conversation about the storage and disposal chemicals. The man is asking how can the chemicals in the laboratory be stored or disposed of. So the woman answers for different types of chemicals should be stored and disposed of using different methods. Disposal of chemicals is equally as important as the storage of chemicals. Disposal of chemicals without following the correct disposal procedures not only causes environmental pollution, but also destroy the habitats of flora and fauna and endangers human health as well.
I'm going to talk about storage of chemicals. So these are the storage for reactive substances. Reactive metals such as lithium, sodium, and potassium are stored in paraffin oil to prevent reaction with the moisture in the air. Next, we have hydrocarbons and organic solvent. Volatile and inflammable liquids like hydrocarbons and organic solvents should be stored in shady areas far from sunlight and heat source. Next, we have substances that decompose easily. Substances that decompose easily in the presence of light, for example, concentrated nitric acid, hydrogen peroxide solution, silver nitrate solution, liquid bromine, and liquid chlorine, are stored in dark bottles. Next, we have substances with pH below 5 or above 9. Corrosive chemicals are usually stored in special storage cabinets that are kept locked. Next, we have heavy metals and toxic substances. Toxic substances and heavy metals should be kept in locked room which is heat-free.
So these are the few examples of storage of chemicals. The first picture shows a reactive substance which is stored in the paraffin oils. The second one is a substance that decomposes easily are stored in dark bottles. The last picture shows a corrosive chemicals which is stored in the special cabinets. So that's all from us. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. Today, we from Group 2 will present about disposal of chemicals. Disposal of chemicals is equally important as the storage of chemicals. Disposal of chemicals without following the correct disposal procedures will not only causes environmental pollution, but also destroys the habitats of flora and fauna and endangers human health as well. That is why laboratory waste have specific disposal methods according to the type of substances. First, substance with pH value lesser than 5 and pH value greater than 9. Substances with a pH value of pH lesser than 5 are strong acids, while substances with a pH value of pH greater than 9 are strong alkalis. Strong acid and alkali waste can cause damage to the zinc and react with water to release high heat and toxic gases that can cause harm. Hence, strong acid and alkali waste should be kept in closed label containers during disposal. Example of strong acid is hydrochloric acid. An example of strong alkali is calcium hydroxide.
Heavy metals and toxic substances. The term heavy metal refers to any metallic chemical element that has a relatively high density and is also toxic or poisonous at low concentrations. Examples of heavy metals include mercury, cadmium, arsenic, chromium, thallium, and lead. Solutions containing heavy metals and toxic substances can be disposed by keeping them in plastic bags, and the solutions are left to evaporate in the fume of chamber. Then, the bag of heavy metals residue is tied carefully and is put into the container of heavy metal waste. This type of substances should be discarded and disposed according to standard procedures to avoid disruptions in metabolic functions.
Solid waste and volatile substances. Number 1. Solid waste. Solid waste includes garbage, construction debris, commercial refuse, sludge from water supply or waste treatment plants, or air pollution control facilities and other discarded materials have to be disposed into special containers. Number 2. Volatile substances. Volatile substances are household and workplace chemicals that people misuse to become intoxicated. Inhaling volatile substances can result in a decreased rate of breathing, decreased heart rate, and loss of consciousness, possibly leading to coma or death. Should be kept in closed containers and away from sun and heat.
Hydrogen peroxide is a chemical compound with the formula H2O2 in its pure form. It is used as an oxidizer, bleaching agent, and antiseptic. It can be disposed in the drain of a sink or into a toilet. However, a high concentration hydrogen peroxide can't be poured into the drain. It should be diluted with water and added with sodium sulfite for the decomposition process before being poured into the sink or drain.
Organic solvents and hydrocarbons. Organic solvent and hydrocarbons are molecules of which consist only of hydrogen and carbon atoms. Most of it are toxic, carcinogenic, volatile, and inflammable. It can be disposed directly to the sink or laboratory drain because it would pollute the water source and environment. So, the best method is to keep it in a special container. Those containers should be kept tightly, labeled with red hazardous waste tags, and disposed of as hazardous waste.
Incorrect hazardous waste disposal in this form leads to increased levels of pollution and contamination of water supplies. Doing this can have a significant impact on health and well-being. Hence, why it's so important that we have to dispose of hazardous waste correctly.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. I hope you all have a good day. Today we're going to learn emergency management procedure in the laboratory. This video is from Group 4. If you have Chemistry Form 4 textbook, please open page 17. Thank you.
Waste spills continue to occur in laboratories even with safety measures in place. When this accident happens, you should act according to the correct procedure as shown below. First, we have to inform our teacher or the laboratory assistant about the accident immediately. The next one is we have to prohibit other students from entering the accident site. After that, stop the spill from spreading to other areas by using sand to border it. Then, we have to clean the chemical spill. Lastly, dispose of the chemical spill by following the correct procedures.
Mercury thermometer, often used to carry out experiments in the school laboratory. If it breaks, a pupil faces the risk of mercury spill. It's enough to cause mercury poisoning even the quantity of mercury in the thermometer is very minimal. Mercury poisoning occurs when a person is exposed to mercury in certain amount. News on mercury spill. Melaka bernama, pupils at Sekolah Rendah Islam Ar-Rahman Solok Gaung experienced nausea and dizziness soon after the thermometer they were using during a science experiment on Wednesday, June 26, burst, causing the mercury inside the glass tube to leak. Nevertheless, the school was quick in seeking treatment at the Air Molek Clinic for the 14 pupils aged between 8 and 11. It also called the Melaka Fire and Rescue Department, which immediately dispatched 6 personnel and a fire engine to the school laboratory. Upon arriving at the location at 12:28 p.m., the team found that the mercury had spilled from the thermometer and used special equipment to clean up the area, said a department spokesman. The pupils were later sent home after receiving outpatient treatment. Bernama.
Mercury spill. Mercury is volatile at room temperature and mercury vapor can poison the air. Do not touch mercury spill because it can absorb into your body through the skin. Symptoms of mercury poisoning are nausea, coughing, vomiting, diarrhea, chest pain, sore throat, difficulty in breathing, headache, eye irritation, vision problem, and increase in blood pressure.
Steps to be taken the moment mercury spill occurs. First, inform your teacher or laboratory assistant about the accident. Second, make the spill site as the prohibited area. Third, sprinkle sulfur powder to cover up the spill. Lastly, contact the fire and rescue department for further action. This presentation is performed by Nur Halini binti Kamaruddin, Aisyah Hernandez binti Remigio, Iman Nur Maisara binti Yusri, Nur Idina Yazi binti Ismail, and Nur Elisha binti Muhammad Anif. Thank you.
I believe you have learned something new from our video. From this video, we have learned ways to manage waste spills such as mercury spill in laboratory. In conclusion, waste spills often happen in laboratory that may cause injuries to the students, teachers, and even laboratory assistants. It even happened in one of the schools in Melaka, but fortunately there wasn't any report of death. If we are exposed to waste spills such as mercury spills, we should stay away from the mercury source to prevent any further exposure to it. It's also highly recommended to go for a treatment in hospital. I guess that's all from our video. Thank you.